Hi, welcome to Renata Leuffen Corporation. I am Renata Leuffen, and today we want to have a look at the question: should you and I commit suicide if we don't have money? This morning, when I woke up, I felt like committing suicide. Why? Because of my current financial situation, because of my current financial disaster. I checked one of my bank accounts and I saw that the bank wants to charge me for 950, I repeat, 950 overdraft charges for the month of June. This is depressing. I know that some of you who are watching are having financial problems. I know that some of you who are watching have either considered to commit suicide because you didn't have the money, or you are currently considering suicide because you don't have the money. And this is really a very important and very crucial question that we need to resolve. What is our own worth? Is money sort of a new God for us? Does money determine everything we are and can do with our lives and have? And how do we deal with financial problems? How do we deal with situations when we have bills and expenses and we want to do things but the money isn't there and we have no idea where the money will come from again, if there will come again a money flow, and what is happening with our finances? So many people suffer and suffer greatly because of their financial lack. And lack is not something nice. Lack is something terrible. Lack is something that destroys lives. So, what did I do this morning? I woke up, got depressed over my financial situation, and then I decided to talk with people, and I got on the phone and I talked to people who work for large global organizations in England and in the United States, like Texas and like Oklahoma. And I told them, look, my financial situation is an absolute mess. It's depressing me to such a point that I want to commit suicide. I don't want to live anymore. I have no desire to live anymore. They all listened. They were all so beautifully nice. And not even one of the 3 or 6 people I talked with recommended actually that I commit suicide. Everyone offered advice. And I think that this is a step towards financial freedom when we start talking about our financial situation. Also the mess that the lack of finances creates, because the lack of finances, it's like a grip from death. It's like a blow, it's like a hindrance, an obstacle in our way. One lady told me that I should contact 100 pastors, 100 churches, and ask them to invite me to sing and to preach. This was wonderful. She also suggested that I contact 100 IT companies and offer my services to them as a contractor. This was very nice as well. Another gentleman told me, and obviously I know all these things, I know how to deal with fear. I'm not a beginner in walking in the spiritual. I know all these things, but I've been so weary over the couple of days. Lack of sleep, then the lack of finances, and then this pressure to perform, this pressure to do this and that, no rest, not really any time for myself. So this other gentleman told me to control my thoughts, and when these thoughts of suicide come, to just say, no, I'm not taking you. No, you're not coming here. This is very good advice indeed. Another lady told me about a similar situation which she had experienced when she had problems paying her mortgage, and she then decided to cut down on her expenses. This made me a bit angry because I love having big expenses, I love spending money, and poverty is not a solution for me. Financial restraint is not the ideal solution for a person like me. I need to invest, and I need to spend money, and I also need to spend large amounts of money. And I could never be happy or feel confident if I just can't spend. And I mean, I've done that in the past. I myself have been in situations where I had to go without food for days. I've been in situations where I was so hungry that I picked up food other people had thrown away from the street. One time I nearly died because of this, because the food was somehow poisoned. And I've been in situations where I brought back trolleys to the supermarket just to get £1 or $1 to buy some noodles and to have some food for me, and at that time for my son. And I've been in situations where I was just desperate because no money was there. So I want to change this. I want everyone to experience financial freedom, including obviously myself. And this is a working process. I don't have a poor mind mentality. I feel rich, I believe I'm rich, and I know I'm surrounded by money and wealth. The houses on the street behind me are worth millions, probably even 1 or 2 billions of pounds. And the cars that park around the area where I am currently, they are worth millions and millions of dollars. So money and wealth are all around us. I believe that financial lack, scarcity of money, of finances, is a spiritual attack. And I remember I had a time like this some years ago when my son died, when I was really so weary, so tired that I thought I just want to kill myself. And I was really low, like this morning. But then what happened a couple of days later was simply that the situation turned completely around. And I was happy that I was still alive. I've gone through real poverty in my life, and mainly because I was never taught to work as well. And from my father's side, I come from a very rich family. I'm the only surviving person from that whole line of family. And if my father hadn't been killed, I would have inherited his company, and I would have never had to work for money. And that's the ideal situation, not having to work for money, just working for fun and for what you love to do. If you feel low today because of your financial situation, and you perhaps remember the story of Sylvester Stallone, who was so poor that he sold his dogs. I think it was for $20 or $25, and then he obviously sold his script and did his film and Rocky, and he became rich, and then he bought his dog back for, I think, was it $13,000 or even more. One man told me today that lack is just a temporary situation. If you are determined, obviously, to walk in financial freedom and to work towards becoming financially independent. So it's a temporary situation. But we tend, with our minds, to focus on the temporary, and we tend to really make the ant into an elephant, as they say. We tend to make this temporary situation big, like a movie, like the only thing we can focus and concentrate on. That's just how our mind and our minds are obviously all corrupted, unless we renew them and feed them with positive thoughts, ideas and ideals. So that's just how our minds work, and our minds drag us down. There are people who have killed themselves because they didn't have money. There was one gentleman in England who by mistake got a council tax bill, and he then killed himself because he didn't have the money to pay the bill. We should face lack with calmness. We should get support. We should talk with people about it. Normally, I'm not a person who talks about lack with my friends or even family or people who are close to me. I like more to withdraw and to keep it to myself and just not tell it. But it is very important that we talk about it, and that we also look to get some external help, some external advice. And we should not allow financial lack to defeat us. We should not allow the lack of money to destroy us and to convince us that we must kill ourselves. I'm at an age where it affects me greatly when my finances are not as they should be. And it really affects me deeply and puts me into a state of depression. And I know I have to be careful now. Normally my finances are okay. It's this season, and I know I have to work on it, and I've started to work on it, and I'm determined to win this battle against the lack and poverty and financial hardship and debts and all this. Should we commit suicide if we don't have the money, or if we don't have money? We should not. Instead, we should start believing for money. We should start looking perhaps for work, perhaps talk to other people about it, and perhaps do what this one lady suggested to me, just ask other people and organizations for donations. Why not? Because the money flow in this world is currently corrupted and it's just crazy, and there are hindrances in the spiritual world, and our flow, which should be natural and actually a full flow of money, can be interrupted also on purpose by dark forces. So we need to stay calm, and we should not have our money situation pull us down into the deepest depression, hopelessness, and despair. We should not despair. My wish for everyone who's watching is that you come into a situation of financial freedom. And this is what we need to be taught. We need to be taught how to be financially free. We need to be taught how to do what we love to do and getting paid for it. And many people suffer greatly because they don't know how to monetize their gifts and talents. But this is something that we can learn, and it can take a while. It can take a while. It can even take years. But our financial situation is something that we got to master, that we got to work on continuously, and we should not be overwhelmed, because we are children of this universe, and the money that we want does already belong to us. It does. It's gonna be all right. We got to believe it's gonna be all right. And that's why we are alive. So that things which are in disorder come into order. That everything will be all right, including our finances. Don't ever commit suicide because you don't have the money. Do not kill yourself because you don't have the money. Do not kill yourself if it's hard, if you can't pay the bills, if you can't pay the rent, if you can't pay the expenses. Don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself if you're hungry. Don't kill yourself if you're weary. Be careful when you're weary. Just relax, just chill out. Don't kill yourself, because a voice in your head tells you that there is no way out and no solution. Don't kill yourself because of financial lack, but work every day determined to be and become financially free. This is the only way. Suicide, surrender, defeat is not the answer.